The Edo State Governor-elect Senator Madu Pebolo on Friday arrived Benin State from Abuja in company with Deputy Governor-elect Dennis Idausa, where they received their certificate of return. Senator Madu Pebolo on arrival at the Benin airport wasted no time to hit the streets of Benin, beginning from Airport Road to express his profound gratitude to residents of Edo State for their overwhelming support during the September 21st governorship election. The governor-elect, who was in company of the Deputy Governor-elect Dennis Idausa and Senator representing Edo North Central District, Senator Ali Oshomole, emphasized his commitment to serving the people of Edo State and working towards a brighter future for all residents. The senator representing Edo North Central District, Senator Ali Oshomole, described the governor-elect as a seasoned politician who has good heart for the development of Edo State.
Thank you. Thank you. This is our government to Monetization. That is why I will come with my deputy.
The crowd erupted in cheers as Senator Pebolo promised to prioritize healthcare, education, and infrastructure development in the state. Some party members said the election of Senator Pebolo is a new dawn for Edo State.
For past 8 years, things have not been going well in Edo State. With the new victory, we are going to see infrastructure in the state.
We are here to tell the world, Edo is the heartbeat of the nation. Politics about the people.
This is a youth o'clock. This time is the era of youth, and a new Edo is rising. We are all happy, as you can see, with the people that you are seeing here. We are all grateful to God Almighty.
Senator Paulo also vowed to tackle corruption and ensure transparency in government operations. Tonant Iminye.
Oh, yes. Today, the 29th of September 2024. It is your darling program, The Comrade and Friends, a segment of The Comrade Show. The video just before we started is the video of the new governor-elect of Edo State, Senator Monday Okpewolo, who on Friday was in Abuja to receive his certificate of return. And we saw in that video what I would term his triumphant entry as governor-elect into Edo State, into Benin City, the capital of our dear Edo State. Ladies and gentlemen, friends and viewers of the Comrade Show, today we'll be looking at the week after. Otherwise, you can refer to as the morning after. A serious, fiercely contested, seriously manipulated, highly monetized election that took place last Saturday in Edo State. And we know all that happened. A lot to talk about, but a winner eventually emerged on Sunday, the 22nd. And that winner, like I said, has since gone to Abuja to collect his certificate of return. We now have a governor-elect and a deputy governor-elect, respectively. And I dare say these are seasoned legislators as it has come to be. Senator Monday Okpewolo is in the House of Senate, and Idausa is also in the House of Representatives. So maybe in this government we shall witness what legislative duties really are. Indeed, time will tell. But please, you know the deal. Share, and do not touch that die. We shall be right back. The CNC of the Comrade Show, Comrade Lamte Bonsaraki, is with me. And you know he's the man that knows it all. And we shall be dissecting the many issues arising from these questionable elections. Do not touch that die. We shall be right back. Oh, yes. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The 29th of September 2024. It is your darling program, The Comrade and Friends. And like I said in the intro, we're going to be looking at the many issues after the elections of last Saturday, the 21st of September. A governor-elect and a deputy governor-elect has since been announced, and they've gone to Abuja to collect their certificate of return. The question now is, what next for Edo State? And like I always say, which way forward? But just before we go into the nitty-gritty of our discussion today, I want to welcome the CNC of the Comrade Show, a man that knows it all and has done a lot for Edo State and I dare say Nigeria, to greet our people cacabolically. Komilante Kwawusaraki, you are in situ. Can you say hello to our viewers? They want to hear your voice.
Thank you very much, Comrade, for my sister Iremira. It's always a pleasure to actually, share this saddle with you. Thank you so much, my brother. God bless you.
Thank you so much. You are looking ever so good. May God continue to bless the work of your hand. What you put in to conscientize Edolites is not questionable and it's not in doubt. And above all, I know you so well. You do it from your personal commitment and decision to see a better Edo State. Comilante, myself and yourself, we were in the saddle last Saturday looking at the Edo State elections, and we saw the drama and everything that played out. I know you've had a few videos here and there you've done, but your viewers have not seen you on the staple to talk about what has happened. Comilante, I want to say congratulations to Edo State people, no matter how you look at it. A new governor is in the saddle. Just your immediate reaction. What do you have to say with the elections of last Saturday and the governor-elect who has since gone to Abuja to collect his certificate of return? And then, of course, you know that a lot has happened. Both the winners and the losers in this case, I dare say Labour Party and PDP and APC, the winners, have since reacted. In the course of today's program, we shall be talking about their reactions and the way forward for Edo State. But what's your immediate reaction? Will it be out of place for me to say congratulations to Edo Pataki? We have a new governor in waiting.
Well, nothing is out of place. I strongly believe that every argument is valid. I also strongly believe that we need to reflect. I think it's not really time to celebrate overly. I think it's more or less time to really reflect as those state people and as Nigerians. And I think this election itself has thrown out more questions than answers. And I also equally think that we need to, get our hands on deck, knowing fully well that we have a lot of work to do if we are to have a future that will be assured. Going by the election that we've just had, it is very easy to come to the assumption that as a people that we are not ready. And it's equally very easy to come to the assumption that, we are perpetually going to remain in subjugation. That said, I honestly do think there's so much work to do. On the part of INEC, there's so much work to do. On the part of the psyche of the people of Edo State and Nigerians, there's so much work to do. And I also think, too, that this work is not going to come from the vast majority of the people, but rather from the few Edolites and Nigerians who, conscientiously remain upright, who know that the right thing to do is to be honest and to put integrity forward, to step forward in whatever guise to ensure that there is, that national reorientation, on a general scale, to ensure that what happened in this election, do not happen subsequently. Otherwise, it may just be a political abyss of no return, and it will be to the detriment of all Edo State indigenes and, of course, all Nigerians at large.
Yeah, thank you so much, Comilante. I think that your reaction is baited with a lot of stuff, because as you release those words, I can see the genuineness of anger, love, empathy, sympathy, concern exuding from those words as you say them and how passionate you say them. One would say that elections are over now. It is now time indeed to govern. Although our country has now gone a different path, that whosoever becomes victorious never fully start working until after 180 days. Because indeed, anything can happen. And like you've often said, our country is a magic. And in the place of magic, you cannot really say what will happen in the next moment. I know in your next reaction, we're going to play the reaction of the PDP candidate, Asue Igodalo, who has clearly stated that they are heading indeed for the courts. And I think that would also put a bit of tension in the governor-elect, even though he will be sworn in November. something can still happen. Not until about February or March next year, we will not say Uhuru to this. And I think in the Nigerian sphere, Komelamte, I think this is not good at all. I think everything about elections should be dealt with before swearing in, so that everything will be put into shreds and the elected government would hit the ground indeed running. Because much as we will say about this, Senator Monday Okpewolo, his deputy, and all the supporters of APC will be looking behind their shoulders because nobody knows until after the 180 days. But before we go straight to talk about what really happened on that day, I know we have the video on cue of the response of Barrister Asue Igodalo, or Dr. Asue Igodalo, who had expressed concern over the elections. Barrister Olumide Akpata of the Labour Party has also expressed concerns, and I think the other 17 or 15 candidates or 16 candidates have also expressed their own concern. But we are where we are. Probably the court is going to decide. But again, Edo State must move forward. It has lots of implications. And just before you respond, I'm not going to sound a bit forlorn at the moment, but I just want to say, as you respond, that I have come to a very sad conclusion, and painful conclusion at that it looks like in my youth, I may not see a free and fair elections. And a free and fair elections gives a different type of governance. But an election that is not free and fair, bettered with manipulations and different stuff, sometimes the victor doesn't really work very well because they know what has happened behind closed door. I also think, my assertions may be wrong, that subsequent elections in our dear Nigeria would go the way Edo State has just gone. I know Ondo State is just around the corner, and election in the east. It might just be APC. It looked like we lost connection momentarily there.
Yes, I think you're back on now. I think you were there was some glitches here.
Yeah, we looked a bit frozen, but I was just trying to make the point that it looks like in my entire youthful age, I may not see an election that one can truly say is free and fair. I think this will continue for governorship elections in similar vein like in Edo State. And of course, 2027, we know it's likely going to be one way. God willing, and if Tinubu is still alive, hale and healthy, nothing will stop him from running. He would run and would win until 2031. And again, in 2031, there might also be another semblance of the election we are witnessing. So we might only see a very truly fair elections if this trajectory is to be believed in 2035. Akomelante, may I just bust your bubble? Myself and yourself will no longer be youths. We'll be heading towards our 60s, if not over. I just wanted to put that into perspective. But I'll take your reactions now as we get reaction of the PDP governorship candidate, Asue Igodalo. And you take it off from there, Komelamte.
Okay. First and foremost, just to quickly react to the things you said, I think it's important that we first and foremost convince ourselves that at the moment we are not practicing democracy. We are practicing, at best, civil rule. Because when you look at the definition of democracy, it says it's a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Now, when you look at this, definition in three arms, we are not anything near this. What we have at best right now is a government of the selected, for the selected, and by the selected. So, at the end of the day,
are you now trying to say that it's not democracy, it's selectocracy?
Where we can create that in the mix. okay, but as I've said, at best, we have a semblance of civil rule. And so long as that is there, I think, we probably may have advanced beyond a certain level. In the course of this election, we did not witness, killings and all of those kind of things that normally would characterize our election. Probably we have, placed a bit more value on the life of, the average Nigerian and taking a different direction. Because right now, it is this form of rigging, okay, will not require excessive use of force, and to that extent, we can say we must be grateful that at least there is no reported loss of life, in the course of this election. That said, I also think, like I would always say, that having seen where we are, we must consciously now begin to look at what we should do to ensure that at least we have something better that will be representative more of the people's will. Otherwise, what we have just now is not a true, an honest reflection of the people's will. I am not saying this to berate APC, because whatever APC has done, we equally saw with PDP. And it's equally very likely that, with all due respect, if Labour Party had the monetary power as well, they probably may travel the same journey. Do you understand the picture of what I'm saying now? So at the end of the day, it's a vicious cycle that everybody is involved in. But hopefully, we have a few people who are same-minded, who refuse to be moved, who place integrity before them and before anything else. And I think that such people right now need to jumpstart that process of internal cleansing and decolonization of our minds, so that people can be more aware of the fact that if they do not truly partake in the election of their leaders, they should not expect change in any way that governance should bring. Because the man who becomes the governor of Edo State today, as we speak, will look back and listen to the governor-elect when he gave his first speech. He thanked all the politicians, the president, his leaders, Oshomole, and all of that. He did not thank the electorate, because his recognition internally is that it is the power of Bola Ahmed Tinubu and his political leaders that made him the governor of Edo State. And if that is his thinking, he's right to think so. Now, I am sat here. I cannot expect that there will be changes, driven by his governance, so that will favor the people of Edo State. You understand what I'm saying now? Because beyond every other thing, what the APC has done is to slap the people, exactly to the face of the people, to say, man, look, we can do and undo, and there is nothing anybody can do about it. Do you understand the picture of what I'm saying now? And of a fact, there is nothing we can do about it. So if they stay 4 years without doing anything, we do not have any right to complain. Because at the end of the day, they are not afraid that if they are coming again, that we will vote them out. Because at the end of the day, we were not the ones who actually decided to vote them in the first place. So they can still travel the same route, you understand what I'm saying now, to get themselves elected again. So therefore, the people don't matter. They are not in the equation. As far as this election is concerned, is very reflective of that. Not because APC has been pronounced the winners of the election right now. It's also because the PDP did as much as APC did by way of monetizing the election, by way of trying to buy the conscience of the people, by way of subverting the will of the people. You understand the picture of what I'm saying now? But it just so happened that APC, they were a step ahead. And that is why Senator Okpebholo has been declared the winner of the election, and consequently the governor-elect of Edo State. But I think we cannot go and play the response of Asue without like you requested.
I'd said this from the beginning, that free and fair election, level playing field. I have no problem with the outcome. This is not a free and fair election. We won this election. This mandate has been stolen by INEC and the police force. And we're clear in our minds that we will regain our stolen mandate. Because the mandate is stolen, there's no way you can accept this this hands of fellowship or hands of friendship that's some kind of Pyrrhic kind of fellowship. So I will stay with the people of Edo State who gave me the mandate, fully gave me the mandate of their free will, and I will go into the courts and the tribunal to reclaim our mandates and then form the government of this state. You know, I was listening to Monday Okpebolo now, and he was talking about his promise to the people and his campaign promise. They didn't campaign. There was no promise they made to the people of Edo State. He didn't even speak. This is the first time I've ever heard him speak, and he must have gone through serious coaching. So I honestly don't understand what kind of message he's trying to send to us. We will stay on the facts, we'll stay on the evidence, we'll stay on the data, and we'll take this through the tribunal.
All right. Mr. Aswe.
Yeah, thank you so much, Comrade Lamte. Are you there? We
Yes,
can't
yes,
hear you.
I can hear you. Go ahead, sir.
All right, so can we take the picture off then?
Huh? Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah, thank you so much, Comrade Lamte, for playing that video to our viewers. Just before I react, I want to encourage our viewers, if you want to ring in, please, the lines are open. Pick up the phone, ring in, let us hear your view. It's the week after, and we are discussing the many issues arising from these just concluded elections and how Edo State will go forward. But I think at this point, craving the indulgence of CNC, I must thank two of our contributors on our comment session. They've been making very lovely comments. I must thank Osaro Igbinovia and Matthew Osaro. I've enjoyed your comments. Keep them coming. And I think Betty Jambola has just joined them. But Osaro Igbinovia and Matthew Osaro, they've been very active. Thank you so much for your contributions. But just to make it more and to put some spice in it, please pick up your phone and ring. Comrade Lamte is clear. Asue and Godalo will be heading for the courts. Labour Party are not concluded their plans yet, whether they will be heading for the courts. But in any case, even if it's one or two that goes, the court will have to hear them. And I think legitimately, it is within their fundamental human right indeed to do that. So I will not want us to waste so much time in discussing that. But you've answered the question partly. They are going to the court because indeed the elections were not free and fair. And not because the person going to court did not have a hand in making it free or fair, but just because the person at the moment had been outsmarted. And like what Osaro and Igbenove are trying to say is that the elections was just between Governor Godwin Obaseki, who was not in the ticket, and the Edo State people. How true that is, one may not know. But if you look at the results in that sense, taking away fairness and whether it's not fair, you may come to that conclusion. But we are at the moment where we are, and we want to look forward. Comrade Lamte, I got into this discussion about Edo State politics because there was a need at that time, sometimes around 2017, 18, 19, until it culminated in 2020, where Edolites across the world stood up with this axiom to fight godfatherism. And former Governor Godwin Adams Oshomole was, of course, the undisputed godfather prior to 2020 because he single-handedly fought for the emergence of Governor Godwin Obaseki. And things begin to go south between both of them. And we saw what happened in 2020. And those State people rose to support and say they want to fight godfatherism. But quickly to 2024, instead of having one godfather, we now have multitudes of godfathers in Edo State. And the last election was a clash of the titans between two godfathers. One a sitting governor and one a former governor, but a sitting senator and a leader or one of the leaders of the APC. So, Comrade Lamte, I'm taking you somewhere and I want you to have this discussion very quietly. It is often said that the central part of Edo State control the sway of power, but there appear to be something different. As the godfather destroyed the young godfather, because people will agree that this election was between Obaseki and Adams Oshomole. And I also want to throw another one in the mix. as the Edo South lost its control and power or key to determine who becomes governor? Please whip those questions and answer them. I know it's a very big one, but please let's be conscious of time.
Thank you very much. You know, I mean, I really appreciate the question. It is something too that I want to speak to personally in my own, when I do my own broadcast. I think that first of all, let us clear Obaseki away from this matter. I have consistently maintained that this election was going to be a referendum on Obaseki, his performance, and of course his attitude. And I thought that he has failed woefully in both, as you know, in character and in governance. You understand what I'm saying now? And this election was going to be a referendum on him. Whether the people, the vote of the people counted, or there is this orchestrated arrangement to ensure that Asue does not have his way, thereby keeping Obaseki in government, whatever it is, Obaseki is out. And right now, a lot of people in Edo State are happy. People are not even interested in the outcome of the election. I mean, in what transpired. What a lot of people are happy about is that Obaseki is gone for good. You understand?
Yeah, but Comilante, let me just puncture you. Would that not be wrong? Would you have to cut your ears because you don't want to see the ears?
That's what I'm coming out. That's what I'm coming to. Personally, I never wanted Obaseki to succeed. You understand? Because of Obaseki majorly, I didn't support.
Just to correct you, you never wanted Obaseki to succeed in this election or to succeed in government.
No, to succeed as far as this election is concerned. Because if Asue had won, Obaseki will be in power. So the election itself, we had an election on many fronts. Asue was contesting against Ubewulu, what's his name, Akpata, and many others. Okay, those were the candidates. But we equally had, a serious contest of godfathers, Obaseki on one side and Oshomole on the other side. You understand what I'm saying now? So they were doing so many fronts. Then we have some young people who decide to call themselves, the elite with Asue Udalo. And we have those that others group as the Lions and the Tigers. So there was a contest at that level as well. You understand what I'm saying now? Now, what has gone down, okay, and I'm going to establish by first of all, saying, you want to take this call first?
Yeah, let's take the call. It makes the show tick.
Hello.
Oh, good evening.
Good evening, sir. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Yeah, my name is Brother Sam. I'm calling from Luxembourg, please.
Go ahead, Brother Sam. You have just 1 minute, sir.
I just want to contribute a little to your discussion because we have discovered that the level of corruption is changing. As we understood one, they go higher. So, what's his name? Asue Bola, the president, has taken it to another level. He doesn't need to share blood. He needs to use money. We know that corruption has done a really big damage to Nigeria in general, whether it's the church, whether it's Bobrisky, whether it's anybody. The moment you can talk to the people that matters and give them money, they jump with what we talk. They need to share blood. They need to go higher. So the enemies are going higher as we discover their steps. So what people and people we have to come out. People are going to come to the election and cry out. No matter whatever you change in the law, they will always break the law. So please, also, Obaseki is crying because his own strategy failed.
Yes.
So the other one has his own strategy that he used to. So basically, all people to develop a new strategy. So each time we are going to be going higher in this corruption, until there's a revolution, or things that God will step in that will change Nigeria. If not, there's no hope for Nigeria. The corruption with poverty and money has caused is what we are experiencing, irrespective of what is going on in every aspect, whether it's the church, whether the people, and whether it's Obaseki, whether it's Oshomole. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. That's quite sensible. Thank you very much, sir. I think you made some very good points there. So like, can I carry on, sir?
Yes, please.
So like I was saying, to put things in perspective, the other aspects of it, Now, Obaseki is going to be out of government latest by November, right? Now, beyond Obaseki, Edo State will remain. Now, whatever has happened right now that may be against Obaseki, it's having a colossal impact on Edo State. This is where I stand. It's having a colossal impact on Edo State on very many different fronts. Now, it has created a level for APC, and that is brazen disrespect for the laws and disrespect for the people of Edo State and indeed Nigeria. Now, how we are going to come around from that, you understand? I do not know. For those that may be celebrating right now, if this persists, they may weep tomorrow. Okay. Now, on the part, now I want to be a bit selfish now. Okay. I'm a Benin man from Edo South. I am terribly grieved in my mind. I'm going to have a broadcast to speak to the Beninese. What this election to has caused the Beninese that we may not see now. I am grieved in my mind that we, the Beninese, have been shortchanged badly in this election. Ask me how. I was to observe the result of this election. Bro, do you know that this is the INEC list of registered voters? In Edo Central, INEC is a list of 440,454 registered voters. In Edo North, it was 620 registered voters. While in Edo South, where I am from, it was 1,526,717 registered voters. Now, the implication of this is that even when you combine Edo North and Edo Central together, they are not up to the numbers you have in Edo South by way of registered voters. Now, look at the outcome of the election. Okay? This is the outcome of the election. In Edo North, okay, what's it called? APC registered 130,000 votes. PDP registered 76,000 votes. LP registered 5,000 votes. In Edo South, I'm going to compare Edo South and Edo North now. You find APC registering 112 votes, PDP 112,000 votes, PDP 115,000 votes, then LP 15,000 votes. Now, this is the point I'm coming to right now. Now, I put this up right now. In Edo North, out of the 620,000 registered voters, they gave us a figure to say that 213,000 people came out to vote, for which APC got 130,000 out of 620,000. Now, if you move away from that and go to Edo South, where you have 1.5 million registered voters, they recorded for Edo South that only 242,000 people came out to vote. You understand the picture of what I'm saying now? And I thought this is a gross aberration, a big slap. A place where you have 600,000 registered voters, you recorded 200-something thousand people who came out to vote. A place where you have 1.5 million, you also recorded 200-something thousand people who came out to vote, which invariably makes Edo North more politically powerful, more politically relevant today in Edo State than Edo South.
And just to add, that is the only senatorial district. Just to add,
I've lost you there. I don't know what's happening.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you now.
And just to add, Edo North is the only senatorial district that the APC candidate governor-elect actually won.
Yes, that's another one. That's another one. That's another one. I think, you know, my worry in this is that before any election in those states, okay, everybody will argue and tell you that the power of whoever must become governor of Edo State is in Edo South. In this election, okay, the rigging took place in such a way that Edo South was mesmerized. okay, Edo State no longer determined how the governorship outcome will be. You understand the picture of what I'm saying now? And I think that this, beyond Obaseki, I'm not talking about Obaseki right now. I think that this is a huge slap on, okay, the 1.5 million registered, voters in Edo South. This is the only election in the history of the state where, Edo North determined the winner of this election. Meanwhile, the population of Edo North times 2 is not even up to the Edo South that we're talking about. You understand what I'm saying now? Now, what has happened here? The people who are supposed to be leaders in Edo South, okay, they are the ones who have gone to meet Oshomole, work with Oshomole to reduce the relevance of Edo South and give the ultimate power to Oshomole as we speak. For me, that is not sitting well at all. Do you want to take this caller?
Yeah, let's take the call. Keep your thoughts.
And I think it's a conversation that personally, I will champion this conversation. We must look inward because our own political relevance as far as Edo State is concerned is being decimated by no other person but by Oshomole. It's not like I'm trying to separate Edo State, you understand what I'm saying now? But my brother, a time cometh when, people will resolve to say to your tent, O Israel. We must look inwards and look at who we are. And this matter, my brother, is of grave concern to me. Because today, and I mean, this is a shame. Today, even we in Edo South, we do not have a leader. We don't. And we need such leadership that we help to, and I'm not talking of corrupt leadership, but the leadership that we help to coordinate the people to ensure that, we are in line, of proper governance. This is what exactly we expected, what's his name, Obaseki to do for us. Personally, my expectation that Obaseki should position himself in a way that every part of Edo State, okay, has the relevance of progress. You understand the picture of what I'm saying now? Coordinate all of us together. Rather, what Obaseki did, in a nutshell, put it all together, is to divide all of us, particularly those of us in Edo South. And if you look at those who have worked with Oshomole to get this result out, majority of them are from the same Edo South. You understand the picture of what I'm saying now? So at the end of the day, the most divided, constituency of Edo State today are the Edo South constituency. We are so divided right now, we don't even know ourselves. And we need to know ourselves. We need to look inwards and understand that we have to correct, a very grave ill taking place right now. It's unfair, it's not right. 1.5 million electorate reduced to just over 200,000. 600,000 electorate in Edo North equally taken to 200,000 plus, voters. Come on, it gets us a bit now. Let's look inwards.
Yeah, Komelante, I share in your fears. I think when you started, you posed it very well, and at the tail end of your comment, you invariably answered the question you posed yourself. I think it's an opportunity lost. I think Governor Godwin Obaseki, if he had done what he was supposed to do and do good governance, like we advised that he peppered them with good governance, we would have at least a leader of the Edo South origin. Today, there are so many people, but like you said, there are no clear leaders. I always believe that in any elections, the sitting governor or the sitting government play a role, either as campaign managers for the opponent or campaign manager for their own party. And if you ask me, I think Governor Godwin Obaseki was the campaign manager for other political parties, and APC benefited because his government was not what we expected. It was more of quarrel, troubles, and all, and that was what gave that lead. And I also agree with you mathematically. Where on earth will it happen that you have 1.5 million voters in a place? The two other senatorial districts put together are not up to 1 million. And yet, the balance of power appear to come from the minority. That's a new mathematics. And I think those are part of the fallout that indeed we are talking about. Like you said, it's not an attempt to divide the state. It's to put where the population is that will determine it. Like in the United States, when results come from California, you know it's coming from California because of the amount of votes that indeed they hold. But Comandante, another answer could also be that maybe many people were disenchanted with Governor Godwin Obaseki and refused to come out because every show of force by the military and everything and the police was all in Benin City and environ. So probably maybe they were scared and didn't come out. But these are things we will not know. But I seriously encourage you to pursue that course. So Comandante, time is fast spent. Ladies and gentlemen, viewers of the Comrade Show, keep your comments coming. If you have a thing or two to say, please pick up the phone and ring in. Comandante, I still have very important matters to discuss. But I just want to say this has happened. Whether the elections will be upturned is in the future. So we have to talk about now. Just a one-liner. What will be your advice for the Labour Party candidate, Barrister Olumide Akpata? What will also be your advice for Asue Igodalo, whose direction we already know, and indeed for the PDP, before we go to the APC, who are the government in waiting? What will be your advice? Just be conscious of time.
Now, for me, the whole world, can remember that I worked very hard for Olumide Akpata. I campaigned for him seriously. I think that Olumide Akpata, for me, my own advice for him is to provide a constructive, and a progressive opposition, opposition for Edo state government. Olumide Akpata should remain the same. You understand what I'm saying? It should position itself as the alternative. Even though things have gone the way they did, a lot of people who either wanted to vote for Labour Party, they got to the field and found out it was not an election. It was a marketplace where people are buying and selling votes, and they all, caved in and equally sold out. You understand the picture of what I'm saying now, and all of that. So I think it is Olumide was imparted. He must have more details than even we do over what transpired in the election. I think right now he needs to sit himself down with Labour Party and be the viable opposition that those two people can see. You understand what I'm saying now? And I think that he should be around, to try again in the future. You understand what I'm saying now? And looking at what has happened right now, work on all of those things. Most importantly, work on the psyche of the people. You understand what I'm saying now? For us to have a guaranteed tomorrow, possibly. We'll take a call. Hello.
Hello, comrade.
I greet you, sir. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Yeah, my name is Vincent, calling from Italy.
Go ahead, Mr. Vincent.
Comrade Latin, I'm following your analysis. You are 100% correct. The way you analyze your issue. The truth of the matter is that 2020, Edo people actually come out to hold the government by themselves as the government for the people, by the people and the people. But Obaseki, because of his greed for money, power drunk, he exceeded this position back to the hands of Godfather. He is the one that pushed us to a level that we get power ourselves into today now to speak. As a result of his greed and everything. It's so painful that the donor people, they have been the one that is determining election now in Edo State. It's just so painful. Obaseki coming to Edo State as a governor, you see, it did not really do us good. Because everything that at least government needs to stand on in terms of development and all that stuff, it is zero. It's just so painful, I must tell you. Yeah, thank you very much for how you have been analyzing it and all that. We are here supporting you, watching you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you for calling.
That's my solution.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for the call. So we put it out there. If you want to call, the number to call is here. You can take the number from here and ring in if you want to equally make a contribution or two, as it were. That's it out there. Yes, and the number 2 is if you check the bottom of your screen, it is scrolling there as well. That's the number to call. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, Comandante, you were still on your feet on the advice to Olumide and.
Oh yeah, I think Olumide should hang around, but just so I don't forget, sir, just to add to what this last caller just said just now, even though he came to agree with us and every other thing, and another call is coming in.
Yeah, let's take it.
Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, sir. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Sunday. I call from Italy.
Go ahead, sir.
Thank you. I just get a little question to ask.
Go on.
Because that matter just now will be fair call you.
Yes.
The first thing when I want everybody may they watch you. But truth they bitter, but nothing like truth. But not be the way those things now. Don't be so it be for 8 years back. My brother, take it or leave it. Don't be so it be. Don't be the way we bought begin. Don't be how that begin start to the waka. Big difference there. You understand? So, but don't be so it be that different there. But now, me and you, 50-50 say yes. But many people will not see that type, but they need to see show face this time around. You understand? Nobody perfect. You understand? So everybody, all of us, we did learn. There's a lot of way for the maybe say when you say correct me. There's a lot of way when you go maybe when me myself just say my brother see how it's supposed to be. That is how it happen. But everything don't go now. What we need to do now? If we to join hands together to let who see our mandate to say you go nowhere. Because what if we not fight this time around? We all forget say next time we must surely get our wrong. I honest to you. If we say we not concern us today, say man, not be our party, no. You understand? Tomorrow after they do the same thing, we say no problem, they say continue. But if we join together, so man, enough is enough. No one get this thing, more give to the owner. Tomorrow they will be afraid to say, okay, if they see continue that, they see can go to see fight us.
Thank you very much, my brother. The point is well made. You do well.
Just give me a second. When they announce Tinubu winner, to God that you see how Tinubu reason. No reason with happiness, you're like that with the election. You see, you just reason because we're in there afraid because the man did not be you. That's why the government be like that will be today. But as we see, so that beginning be this for the Nigeria.
Thank you very much, sir. Your point is well made and it's taken on board. Thank you so very much. Over to you, pharmacist.
Yeah, you are. I also asked for advice for Asue Godalo. We already know that.
But now, like I've already said, I think I will expect and I hope that Olumide Akpata will hang on, be around, provide effective opposition, possibly. For Asue Godalo, I am not sure, I have any advice for him. He wants to chase the court. And I think that he should chase the court. You understand the picture of what I'm saying? And if he's genuine, for me, I hardly see anything coming out of the court because of the factors surrounding the election, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and so many other things. And of course, we've seen the performances of our court in recent years. And it's a question of can any good thing come out of our court? We've not seen any good thing about our court in recent years. And so it's very doubtful if anything is going to come out. But more than that, if he eventually does not get what he wants, I would also expect that he sits around, go to Ewohimi, go and start learning the ways of his people, because he's been a stranger to his own people. You understand what I'm saying? Hang around too and equally provide effective opposition to the person they have named the governor of Edo State at the moment. You understand what I'm saying now? Because these leaders must show genuineness to the cause. And I think that what's his name? In the next 4 years, if Asue does not become the governor of Edo State, let him show to the people of Edo State that he can become a true homeboy. You understand what I'm saying now? And provide effective opposition so that we can have, good choices to choose from in 2028. A caller is calling. Hello. Hello. Good evening, sir. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Yes, my name is Solomon. I'm calling from Milton Keynes, England.
Okay, Solomon, speak a bit louder so that we can hear your mic and pick your voice. The blast on a bedroom voice they use, so.
Can you hear me? It's better now.
It's better now. Go ahead, sir.
Where is he calling from?
Yes, thank you for the opportunity to make a call. Yes, I just want to comment on two things very quickly. The votes in Edo South. I believe that many people were disenchanted and didn't just want to come out to vote. I have members that have been in. They didn't vote. They were not interested. So I think that's those large numbers, and because the election was highly monetized, the people don't forget that in Edo North and Edo South, they are quite rural areas. And it was the election, it was like Christmas. So everybody came out and there was like a big bonanza to sell your votes and come out to vote. So I think that swelled the numbers as well, apart from getting voters used in the South and the police oppression and all that. Okay. Talking about the larger problem, this problem of vote buying, vote trading, I think it's something we need to take seriously.
Yes.
Because it is tied to our Nigerian culture, not just Benin, not just Edo State now. I think in Nigeria we worship money too much. The average Nigerian is greedy. You know, even when you talk to Nigerians, we're all in the diaspora. Talk to African countries, other members, other people from African countries, Ghanaians, South Africans, they're not like us. You see Nigerian, our eye too strong. Yes. Until we deal with this money culture of worshiping money, I don't think we'll ever get this right in Nigeria. Yeah. Because there's a culture of worshiping money. Money. This worship for money in Nigeria, I think it's not going to lead us anywhere. You know, because of time, I would just like to hang it up. Thank you for the opportunity to call in today. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thanks for your time, brother. God bless you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Where did our last caller come from?
I think he was calling from Helsinki or so.
Helsinki. Okay. I want to say that I must thank him very much. He has brought a new dimension to it, which I didn't actually think about, to give reasons why there was a low turnout from Edo South. He has also said that because the election was highly monetized, those in the rural areas, of course, fare more. Remember that the Benin City houses, they are more cosmopolitan, and it will take a lot of money to be able to get their buy-in. Yeah, Comandante, I am conscious of time.
Yes.
I want to go to talk about our governor-elect. You want to take the call?
Okay, sir. Hello.
You're live?
We are live, sir. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Yeah, my name is Matthew. I'm calling from Germany.
Matthew from Germany. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, there's something that you make mention of that I want to speak on to. You talked about the unity of the people from the southern part of the Edo.
Yeah.
Which is typically the Beninese.
Yes.
Let me in quote.
Yes.
It didn't start today. I'm in Europe and I discovered that social media alone can sway people towards a direction.
Yes.
So guys, make something clear. Social media can sway people towards a direction. We are living in a land, we are living in the Edos. We are like the social media, there's a social media group. Then there are groups that's on the land. Until we all believe in one thing, which is the Oba of Benin, both in social media and win the land. If we can come together and believe in one leader, which is Oba of Benin, believe me, we can turn many things around. It's only that I want to speak on to.
Thank you very much.
When you have a special debate like that, I will also be online. But for the elections, that is gone already. That is what I know about that.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Matthew. You speak like a pure Obioba. Yeah, so Comandante, I was just going to say that in the next 10 to 15 minutes, we are going to zero in on the governor-elect and to look at what governor's leadership and government and governance will be in Edo State. But just before then, Obaseki has become a big elephant in the room. And we should also, I feel for him as well as human. I have serious sympathy for him because I think he's a very likable man, very cerebral, very educated. I may differ in some of his style of governance and probably maybe his relationship currency. But he's our son, he's our brother, he's our father, he's our everything, he's our former governor. What would you want to say about Obaseki? It looks like he has lost grip in the PDP. His godson has not become governor, and we don't know what's going to happen. Do you think that he's going to have a Yaya Bello type of experience? What would be your advice to our dear brother Godwin?
Well, the thing is, the Benin man makes a parable and says that all Elohim lie, idin. And the fly that will not, take advice, will go with the corpse to the grave. You know what I mean? I think that Obaseki's ears have been, quite impervious to advice, and that has, put him where he is now. It's so sad to see that the glory of governance has departed from him. You saw the crowd that followed the Ukbewolo right now. Somebody told me 2 days ago that Oshomole's house and Ukbewolo's have become the
new
government
government
headquarters in Edo State now. Everybody's now rallying around them. People are now seeking, chasing whatever they are chasing, while others are leaving Obaseki. And as a matter of fact, some of us have come to the conclusion that it's equally very well possible that before long you are going to see members of the House of Assembly, all of them, they camping to join APC. At the end of the day, in the next 2 months, it's already being, speculated that the government house is now empty. Nobody goes there anymore because they know that the power has shifted. The glory has left him. You understand the picture of what I'm saying? So I think that he's going to use the last of his breath to ensure that he will chase this, what's his name, the tribunal and Supreme Court, to ensure that Asue gets veto. But that's the only thing that's left right now. So everything is God is going to put it in. I'm sure that's what is expected. You understand? At the end of the day, but that said, I think it's equally important too that we understand that we are not an island, particularly when you're in an elected position. Lessons need to be learned. For instance, I had this video killed in the early days when Obaseki and Oshomole were falling out. Do you know that our revered father, His Royal Majesty Omonoba Nedoku Akpolo Obaewai, called Obaseki and advised him? It was not secret, it was not private, it was public. Even reminded him that power is transient. Your boss can say, touch and go, touch and leave. Nobody stays in power forever. And you're more even said to the extent to say, look, when you finish, your tenure, you should finish in a way that you'll be respected, even have more respect, even because of how you have carried out your affairs. Today, if Obaseki leaves power, I am sure that people are going to see him in the street, and just prospect. You understand what I'm saying? And all of that. Because he's going to leave almost, disgrace. Let you know, from my mouth. This is how he was advised by His Royal Majesty. Let's just watch this.
I'm not happy about it. When you didn't let me resolve the issue between you and your friend, the comrade, before it got to this point. If we had done it that time, everything would have been, we would not be sitting here, and everything would have been smoother than this. Let us resolve it when it was still coming up, when it was still brewing, quietly. What I want to hear is, Your Excellency, Mr. Governor, that you say to me that you want to assure me there will be well, whatever way you're going to play your own role, that there will be peace, there will be no shooting anymore. Set aside your official capacity as the governor for now. But you are before us, you are before God Almighty, you are before our ancestors. It will be good for you to look beyond your office, because you are not going to be there all the time. It's good to look beyond. You see the elder statesman there, Chief Odigi Oyegu, was once a governor. He's not anymore now. Everybody knows that it's transient. Everybody knows. But you look beyond. Look at the bigger picture. Look at how one day you can also sit and be, when you are no longer the governor, everybody can still give you respect. More respect even. What I want to hear from today, you have visited us, you want to assure me, one way or the other, work together with Pastor Ezekiel, together, not differently. Because
now, a pharmacist, the reason why I had to assume this particular video and play it, there's this saying that what an old man sees sitting, a young man may not see is standing on top of it. Now, the words of the Omo has now come to pass, isn't it? Now, Omo was advising between what may have transpired between himself and Oshomole. That's what Omo's advice. But the truth of the matter is that when you take that from there and now look at Obaseki's relational currency, like you mentioned just now, between him and every other human being around him, like people who he rode on their backs to become governor, and what he did by way of relational currency that we're talking about right now, it was not just about Oshomole. I don't like Oshomole. It was not just about between him and Oshomole alone. It was about the way this guy, ran his affairs. You understand what I'm saying now? With everybody he came across. You understand? So at the end of the day, the man is living right now almost alone. The Oshomole we're talking about right now, as much as I do not, like his time, Oshomole, when he was governor, built tentacles around himself. Today, the people who knew Oshomole as governor 8 years before Obaseki came on, today they are the ones who are rigging, in quote, as alleged, rigging for him currently. They are the ones who now make up the crowd that are following him around right now. So at the end of the day, I think the Obaseki's life as a governor is a lesson for everybody who will have the grace of God, you understand, to occupy positions of authority tomorrow, to understand that wherever you are by way of political appointment or political, the political office, as the case is transient. Do the best you could to ensure that at least you leave good record, both with human beings and, of course, as part of your own governance, dispensing governance. So I think Obaseki right now is going to reel and lick his wound and probably look back and ask himself probably if he had a different opportunity, he would have done things differently. The moment is just going to reel. Otherwise, I would say, like it's obvious, the glory of governance has already left him. You have a call.
Yeah, let's take the call.
Hello. Hello, what's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Austin Norway.
Where are you calling from, sir?
Calling from Malta.
Go ahead, sir.
The reason why I call, I don't dare for English.
Oh God,
the reason why I call is
they speak this pidgin.
What they more important to me, not per se,
yes.
I don't lie you, because during that period when we say this election, they go on. The last time when I check, I find out say now the people when they support Obaseki, most of them are enemies of the palace. Almost all of them. And they can't anger. I would to say Obaseki not come up by now. Maybe I for don't spend money to go push a kind of maybe say they go buy coffee for area. Because now waiting almost come up in my mind that period. Because whenever I come across comments, the cities when they comment for comment section, they throw man they go palace. In short, you bless him, my head won't bust. So I get to say nothing give me joy past your Obaseki come out. Because if Obaseki not come out, say Asue enter, those people plan now to divide us more for those out, create disunity among us. And when people when they divide, they're very easy to remove. So my prayer now be say as people don't enter, now for we to hold on bomber to bomber, make sure say may do well for those states.
Yes.
And again, we not go lose guys say Obaseki don't drop office, make it a go. No, you don't need to go. We need to hold them accountable. We need to give account. All the billions when you borrow. The Gelegele seaport when we say man, he allocate billions of naira put when we say we don't see for hire. The Sobe farm, the airport when say won't build for a donut, and all the things when he promised, we don't see anything. So that one alone reach me on my own side, make me the first because those money so not just be like those people money not be that one. So one person you have carry the money corner around, they will just keep quiet like that. You know go work.
You go see back coffee for that one.
That one, so based on the security they follow, I'm going to touch them. Because if I get drone, say man, I think get drone to operate drone, and I put explosive.
Okay, bros. Thank you. I just agree.
That my brother Austin from Malta, the guy has show.
not many people they proud about. Nas,
even though people they throw money go palace. That one I waiting mostly first me pass.
that one go stop now. That one go stop now. None of us like that.
Oga Austin.
Hold on accountable. You don't need to go like that.
Okay.
Oga Austin, your body they ought to.
I shall say, Ukbawolo, they hear you. God bless you, my brother. He will know what to do as far as that. Anyway, this caller is definitely unhappy with Obaseki, and he's happy. Whatever the outcome of the election, it don't really matter. And that is exactly what a lot of those people are talking about. They don't really care about the outcome, provided Obaseki is gone. Now, for me, why that is valid, I also equally think that now that Obaseki is gone, okay, we now need to start looking at the future of our elections.
Yeah, thank you. I was coming to that.
You know what? Sorry, sir. The Benema says,
yeah. Thank you so much, Komelante. You talked about looking at our elections. I purposely left that out of today's broadcast because I think in looking at our elections, it's going to take a full broadcast because we need to look at INEC and the way we do our elections. That's a story for another day. I strongly believe that if we are to go forward, we need to rejig INEC in total. So I don't want to talk about INEC today. But we have about 10 to 15 minutes left, Komelante. Let's assume it's not done and dusted. We have a new governor-elect. Whether you vote for him, you like him, you hate him, or you dislike him, whatever you think, appears material now. By November 12th, ceteribus paribus, all things being equal.
Yes.
Governor Monday Okpewolo will become the governor of Edo State with his deputy Idahosa. So now, what should we do? What should be the expectation of Edo State people? And I want to say to everyone who has been following us, people may have different reasons and innuendos, but as time goes by, you begin to understand that Comrade Show is different. We are different, and we are a team set apart, led by yourself. And I think many Edolites and indeed Nigerians have come to understand. We follow good governance, and we must hold government to account. And I'm so happy that with what happened in 2020, we've been waiting for this time. We are now disentangled, which means what we've been doing before, people indeed will see. The train has left the train station. Come November, it will be Monday Okpewolo as our governor. And what he promised, we will hold very dearly. In the video that you played just now, he mentioned three things, which I think will form the fulcrum of his government and what we're going to hold him on. He talked about education, he talked about health, and he talked about infrastructure. And for me, I think it's concise. We will hold on to that. But Komelante, I know there will be lots of discussions now. Like you said, the government house is no longer in government house. It's now with Okpewolo and Adam Saliu Oshomole, and of course, all the big wigs that brought him in. Many people are so worried because I can list about 8 or 9 big wigs. And if Nigeria politics will remain the same like we know, all these guys will bring 1 or 2 commissioners. I don't even think Okpewolo would have any opportunity to bring his own personal commissioners. But of course, we are not talking about that now. He knew that before fighting it. Adam Oshomole is there. Pastor Ize Iyamu is there. Philip Shaibu is there. Jared Tenebe is there. Former PDP South person, Dan Obi, is there. The guy that stepped down for Godwin Obaseki in the South, what's his name? Former House of Rep member.
Uroride.
No, not Uroride. Uroride is a senator. The other one. That has won. Ogbedehama is there. And many other big wigs. I can count 10 of these people.
Wike is there. Uroride is there.
I can count about 10 of these people. I don't think we have more than 18 or 20 commissioners. So, and all these people want to get largesse from the government. That's going to be a difficult thing. But I think Monday Okpewolo is ready. If he doesn't do well, we have another 4 years to decide. We want him to do well because the progress of Edo State is our progress. But Komelante, many people are worried. And I want you to speak to this. It's very important. Let's put that collar down. This is very important.
Okay.
Now, many people have been worried that when Obaseki came, first of his glory was that he reduced agberoism and toutism in the city of Benin and indeed Edo State. Whether these videos are true, I don't know. But for the last 1 week, since the announcement of the election on Sunday,
You have a barrage of calls, mate.
yes, but we need to talk about this. Since the announcement on Sunday, Komelamte, there's been lots of talk to say that Agberoism is coming again to Edo State. Much as we don't like Obaseki, we don't want to go back to Egypt. I want you to speak to that before we take any calls. What will be your advice?
You have a lot of calls coming in. I don't know
Yeah,
what you want to do.
what will be your advice on this Agberoism issue?
Okay, let's first and foremost, I have made it very clear that Senator Okpebholo is the governor of Edo State, and it's going to be governor of Edo State people, those who supported him, those who rigged for him, those who voted for him, and those who were against him. He's going to be everybody's governor, and that one has to be, firmly established. That said, we on our own part, for everybody who supported, the governor-elect at the moment, everybody must understand that, man, we have not come to this table where we now look at and zero into governance. You understand the picture of what I'm saying now? I am no longer talking about Olumide Akpata. I'm not looking at the future of Edo State under Monday Okpebholo. You understand what I'm saying now and all of that? I have a very, quick demand, and I made that demand yesterday. And that is that Monday Okpebholo must stem the tide of Agberoism in Edo State. Agberoism is gone. It should not come back under his reign. This is very, 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 very important. Now, the other aspect is very difficult. It is difficult because Monday Okpebholo never really campaigned to tell us this is what he wanted to do. Everything he talked about was just vague, like any primary 3 class child would equally say. There was no in-depth into anything that he promised to say, I will do this or I will do that. So it's difficult to hold him to account to anything as far as, this matter is concerned. However, I would expect that he provides, good governance for Edo State. I don't know. There's this caller. Do you want to take this caller?
Yeah, let's take the call. You have answered the question. Let's take the call as we round up.
Hello. Hello, good evening. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Abeni and I'm calling from Manchester.
Go ahead, sir. You have 1 minute.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you, sir. Please, can you reduce the other gadget you are listening to?
I just done so now. I've been listening to. I've been a regular caller to your show, the cover show, and I appreciate what you've been doing all this while. And let me just quickly contribute to what the topic is, especially as it has to do with the outgoing governor Obaseki. You see, the truth of the matter, I think everyone has his opinion about anything you want to but for me, I repeat, Obaseki remains one of the best governors in Nigeria that ever had. The reasons are too numerous for me to begin to mention here because there will be time for me to do these details. But what I do know is that time will come, there's no people who appreciate the called Mr. Obaseki.
Yes.
I was in Benin not too long ago and I saw what Obaseki has done. Because now when I hear people condemn Obaseki, I don't say a word. And when I hear people praise Obaseki, I don't say a word. Okay, I personally went to Benin, went to Edo State, and I saw first time what Obaseki has done. And for me, I'm not Obaseki's friend though. I'm not close to him, I don't even know him.
Yes.
So the truth has to be told. Obaseki has done well for Edo State, regardless of what anybody thinks about him. The man has done his bit. If you ask me, I'll give him a pass mark. So everybody has their opinion, my people, But for me, Obaseki is and remains one of the best governors this state has ever had. Thank you.
Lovely. Thank you very much.
Is that Mr. Abeni?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Abeni. So, Komelamte, while we take more call, can you just round up? I'm trying to bring the program to a close.
Yes. So we expect the governor to, clearly, set governance rights, make life better for Edo State people. If they want to ask my personal expectation, more than anything else today, everything that will make us productive in the area of agriculture. I really like that. I like us to concentrate effort in that because there's so much hunger in the land. And I think that Edo State farmers can be encouraged to produce enough, to feed Edo State, even if that's what it's able to achieve. You understand what I'm saying? Now, all is tenure, I think that would have been a milestone for Edo State. Everything that will make agriculture succeed, including road, including power, including some of those other things. And you understand what I'm saying? That improves seedling, access to soft loan, and allowing government to be a principal player in the matter, in that the produce from the farms, will be enough to, what's it called, impact the market price of agricultural products in the market in a way that, because of the government policies, food should be cheaper in Edo State. If they can chase that up, honestly, I will appreciate that. But on the flip side, here on the Comrade Show, I do pledge that we will do our bit, like somebody called, one caller said earlier, we will teleguard, not teleguard, we will go close to this government, bumper to bumper, be very constructive, critic of his government, to ensure that we bring out the best out of government. We are going to talk about everything and anything that we see that is not going right. We will hammer on them. You understand what I'm saying? Now, spuriously, to ensure that the government will be on our feet all the time to provide good governance. That is what he is elected or selected for, whichever one anybody wants to believe.
Yeah, thank you so much, Comrade Lamte.
Now, another call.
Okay, let's take that call.
Hello. Hello, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
I called before. I'm Matthew by name. I'm calling from Germany.
Okay, Matthew, go ahead. 1 minute, sir. We're just about running off.
All right. I just want to add something towards the program. Yeah, Akpakomiza will be sworn in November. And as a program that I'll be watching, because I love the way you analyze some issues, even if everybody have his own bias. Please, is it possible for you to, first of all, the employment we have in Edo State, so that we put it in context. The economic activity that is in Edo State, we'll put it in context. Then the revenue that is entering Edo State, we'll put it in context.
Yes.
So that in a year time or 2 years time, when we not start screening or criticizing what Okpebulu has done or he has not done, we'll be able to have the figure to go against him or to go for him. That's what I want just call to say.
Thank you very much. I will look to that. Thank you so very much. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, friends of the Comrade Show, it has been your darling program. I will be in about 1 hour, 18 minutes on the saddle, looking at the morning after or the week after the elections of Edo State. We've offered advice to the Labour Party and then also to Asue Godalo. And we know that there's a governor-elect in waiting who has since collected his certificate of return. We've also offered advice. All we want is the betterment, growth, and development of Edo State. And we in the Comrade Show, we do this dispassionately. We shall follow the new government bumper to bumper. We shall hold them by their promises, because when we do, we call them to work, and Edo State people will be the beneficiary. For Governor Godwin Obaseki, there is a lot for him to do, but we don't know. We'll see how it plays out. Our country is full of magic. Nobody knows what will happen. Some politicians may be down now, and before you know, they will indeed rise again. But within the advice offered by the Omonoba Nedo to Governor Godwin Obaseki, some about 4 years ago, has come indeed to roast. So there's a lesson to be learned, not just for Godwin, for ourselves and for our personal life. But Edo State indeed is what is important, and Edo State must matter. It is on this note that I want to thank all our viewers. There's been lots of interactions on our comment sessions today. So many names, people saying lots of stuff, some in anger, some for the future, some in support of their candidate. But whatever your comments are, we appreciate them. They are worth it. They are the things that indeed make the show tick, because people will read them and learn a thing or two about it. Please keep them coming. We must thank all our callers today. In fact, our callers are really from Europe. The Europeans are really Edo State, and they've come out in their drive to air their view. And many people, all of them that have spoken, are giving us made very robust comment, which I believe those that will listen, those that will watch this later, will have a lesson to learn from there. On that note, I want to thank Mr. Sam, who rang us all the way from Luxembourg, and Mr. Vincent, who rang us all the way from Italy, and then Sunday ringing again from Italy, and Mr. Solomon, who rang us from Helsinki, I think, and then our brother Matthew, who I think I will advise Matthew to stay close because I think his comments are very apt. In fact, he rang us twice all the way from Germany. Matthew rang us from Germany and he rang twice. And our brother Austin from Malta. Austin was very, very vexed, but of course he made his point clear. He really wanted to see the back of Obaseki, and he appeared to be very glad he has seen the back of Obaseki. But Austin from Malta, thank you so much for ringing. And our brother Abeni, who rang from Manchester, to extol the good things that Governor Godwin Obaseki has done for Edo State. And he thinks that in the near future, we will count him as one of the best governor Edo State has produced. It has been a very sweet program today, and I must thank all our viewers that are watching us, and especially those that have made comments, those that will watch later, and those that call in. Comrade always I would ask, a very bumper discussion today, 1 hour, 21 minutes on the clock. What is your final word?
Well, first and foremost, I want to express I want to express my own gratitude to you, bro, for your encourage, and I want to equally thank you for what you have been doing, selflessly, to ensure that Edo State and Nigeria indeed progress. There's been a lot. You've been putting in a lot. We've been together, all the while. As for recent developments, I can only hope for the best. Like I said, for me, we have had an election. And for me, I am still very much in sober mood, reflecting on the election we just had, and knowing fully well that we need to work hard to improve our elections. Because even when the Bible says, seek ye first the kingdom of righteousness, and every other thing shall be added, it's important. The Bible makes it clear, seek ye first the kingdom. In politics, in development, the first kingdom that we must seek must be the kingdom of free, fair, and credible elections. If that does not happen, there is no way we can have good governance. If people can bring out money and buy elections and buy themselves into power, there is no way we can expect that they are going to make any change. Because at the end of the day, as we speak, for those that have spent billions and they have been elected, expect that the first thing they want to recoup is the multi-billions they spent. You understand? So at the end of the day, the average electorate must understand that the 10,000 they collected a week ago, some of them don't spend and finish. The 20,000 when they collected a week ago, some of them don't spend and finish. And we have another 4 years for us to wait. And probably that 10,000 they did not collect, they probably would have voted for the right person to govern Edo State. It's important. Whether somebody in government does well or does not do well, let the person have the fear that if I don't do well, these people will not vote me in the next time. But if somebody is sat there, knowing fully well that it is his money and his leaders that put him there, it doesn't matter what he does. He's not interested in how you feel. He does how he please. And that is exactly probably where we find ourselves at this moment. And I think that while we have made this mistake collectively, we now need to really, really sit down, particularly those who are dispassionate about integrity, to start setting an agenda for the others, to help everybody up to understand that we need to have proper elections if we can have proper development. On that note, I rest my case, my brother.
Thank you so much, Comrade Lamptey. Thank you, all those watching us. Thank you, all our callers and those that have made comments. A new Edo State will be possible. We await the inauguration come November 12th. Until we see you again, stay well. I will come your way again next Sunday. It is your darling program, The Comrade and Friends.
The Comrade Show. Make Comrade Show way. Comrade Lamptey Oriented. This is The Comrade Show.